Good afternoon, students. Today we will discuss about Union Executive and Legislature. In our previous videos, we have seen about legislature, and basically we have seen about the three organs of legislature. The first is President, second is Lok Sabha, and the third one is Rajya Sabha. So now we will discuss about sessions of Lok Sabha, and how does a bill become a law. After it, we will see the legislative powers of Parliament, and after it, election and removal power. Later on, we will see how Parliament or legislature controls the executive. So when we discuss the sessions of Lok Sabha, we can say normally three sessions are held in a year in Lok Sabha. The first is budget session, second is monsoon session, and the third one is winter session. Basically, budget session is held from Feb to May, monsoon session is held from July to September, and winter session is held November to December, from November to December. Generally in budget session, budgets are introduced in Parliament, and it is introduced generally in the last week of Feb or the first week of March. Sessions of Lok Sabha. There are three sessions. The first is budget session. Second is monsoon session. And the third one is winter session. Budget session from Feb to May. This is from July to September. And this is from November to December. On normal business days, the Lok Sabha assembles from 11 am to 1 pm and 4 pm to 6 pm. The first hour of every sitting is called the question hour, during which two types of questions are asked. The first hour of every sitting is known as question hour, that is considered the important session of Lok Sabha, important hour of Lok Sabha, question hour. First hour of every sitting. Generally, it is held from 11 am to 12 o'clock. In this first hour, two types of questions are asked. The first is the start question and the other one is unstart question. Two types of questions are asked. The first is start and the other one is unstart. What is the difference between start and unstart question? A start question is one to which a member desires an oral answer in the House. When a question is answered orally, supplementary questions can be asked thereon, and generally only 20 questions can be listed for oral answer on a day. Whereas in unstart question, we can say an unstart question is one which is not called for oral answer in the House and on which no supplementary questions can be asked. To such a question, a written answer is deemed to have been laid on the table after the question hour by the minister to whom it is addressed. Only 230 questions can be listed for written answer on a day. In a start question, we can say these are asked orally, and supplementary questions can be asked and on a day only 20 questions can be listed. Whereas in unstart question, answers are demanded in written form, no supplementary question, and only 220 questions can be listed. Basically, when we are discussing about question hour, we will have a glance on parliamentary procedure. Generally, parliamentary procedure includes the first is summoning of the House to the session by the President. In the legislature powers of President, I have told you about it. Like the President has the right to inaugurate the sessions of Parliament, and he also has the right to summon the joint meeting of Parliament. The President's address, which is the policy statements of the governor in power. After it, the motion of thanks, and in normal days, as I have told you earlier, the Parliament begins with a question hour, and this question hour is followed by the 0 hour, and 0 hour, the duration of 0 hour is from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. lunch break starts and the House resembles at 2 p.m. The motions in the House, we can include 9 types of motions like adjournment motion, no confidence motion, substantive motion, call attention motion. So basically in our next video we will discuss about these motions. Now we will see about the procedure by which a bill becomes a law. Now we will see the stages by which a bill becomes a law. We will see these stages into 5 steps. First stage is related to the introduction of bill. This is also called the first reading of the bill, and the bill can be introduced in either house, like it can be introduced either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha if it is an ordinary bill. The bill can be introduced either by a minister of the government or by a private member of the house also. Introduction of the bill is accompanied by a statement of objects and reasons by the person who has introduced it. It means the reason of introducing the bill, the reason of proposing any bill is must to give at the time of introducing it. This bill and the statement are circulated among the members. In second stage, a detailed prose on the bill takes place in the house. It means a discussion is held on that bill in second stage. Some changes may be introduced in the bill by the person who introduced it and by other members also. The bill may be referred to a small committee for more careful study. Like if a bill has importance, or we can say if a bill is considered as a part of nation's integrity, then a small committee can be organized for its careful study, and further discussion on the bill may take place in the second stage. And in third stage, the bill is put to vote in the house. If it gets the approval of the simple majority of members present in the house, it is considered as passed. Okay, but the approval of simple majority is needed only at the time of introducing ordinary bill. If the bill is ordinary, then it needs only simple majority. But if the bill is not ordinary, then a special majority should be approved. Fourth stage, now the passed bill is sent to the other house for its approval, and the other house may pass the bill by a simple majority also. And in the fifth stage, when the bill is passed by both the house, it is sent to the President for his assent. After the President gives his assent to the bill, it becomes a law. I have told you, until and unless any bill signed by the President cannot be a law. It means if a President doesn't sign the bill, then in this situation, that bill cannot be a law. But if that particular bill is again sent to President, then at the second time, the President has to sign that bill. And in the after the signing of the bill, that bill becomes a law. In the first stage, the bill is introduced in either of the house, and it can be introduced by a minister of the government or the private member. This is also known as the first reading of the bill. A private member of the house, this is also known as the first reading of the bill. Second stage. In second stage, the clauses are discussed. All the clauses of bills are discussed. Some changes may occur. And in third stage, the bill is put to the vote in the house. And if the bill is passed by 2/3 majority, it is sent into another house. In fourth stage, it is discussed in another house and voting is also held. And in fifth stage, it is sent to President's consideration. And if a President signs the bill, it becomes a law.